show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
Who's ready for the best fucking night of their life? This is Oddball Show. My name is Jason Wright. I am editor of Oddball Magazine, and that was a homage to Kill Tony. I'll talk about Kill Tony when we bring some people on the show. But right now, let's see who my special guest is today. It's none other than Kill Tim Gager.
I'm not that special, but what I do is, you know, all that applause that kind of happens in the introduction, the woo, that's just me. It's just me going.
Yeah. Well, it pumps me up. That's why I did this, and then I thought of the Kill Tony.
I know you have so much energy after this.
I know. Which is crazy because I've been super delightfully sick for the last 3 days. So.
Oh, speaking of sick, where's Chad?
I think he has the same bug that I have. He's probably.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know what bug that I don't think. I think my bug is.
Did you catch diarrhea? It might have been from drinking that muddy water.
I know, right? Coffee doesn't even do anything for me anymore. I mean, I'm telling you, it takes a lot to wake me up these days. Tim, big week for you.
It is. It's a great week. My book launches in 2 days, and I actually have copies of the book. Look at this.
Flattles of the look at that. It's upside down for the viewers, but for the listeners, it's shadows of the scene. The whole book.
I should hold it up in a mirror.
The whole book's upside down, Tim.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward. It's at 2 p.m. in Waltham, Massachusetts, at Brewer's Tap and Table. Anyone can go. The public is invited. The book deals with gun issues, and it's not pro-gun or anti-gun. It's just guns are involved, and politicians are involved, and mental health is in the forefront, and perhaps the lack of good mental health in this country, and how it relates to the gun issue.
And is this all in the book?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, nice. Who's the main character?
There are 3 main characters.
Well, I go for it.
There is Candace, the politician, and she runs on GOP conservative, pro-gun, anti-abortion values, but in reality, that's not her stance. But she runs on that to get elected and also to cash in. There is Lucky, who is lucky with everything in his life until he has a seizure at a casino, and then his life.
I think I like the character Lucky. I love characters like that have they have a reason why their name is what it is. And is he like the main character?
He's one of them, and then there's Peter, and Peter was the politician's boyfriend in high school, and he was bought out by her parents because it wasn't good for her political career, and various things happened with Peter. But the book has a mass shooter, and you don't know which of the characters is going to be the mass shooter until the very end.
Oh, kind of Chuck Palahniuk-ish. Have you read Chuck Palahniuk before, Tim?
I did. I read his, what's the name of it? It was the eating disorder book.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
It was disturbing. I think I read it I read it in one sitting at the Old Country Buffet
while ordering eggs. Well, I feel like that's an old, antiquated sentence right now. Old Country Buffet. Does that even exist anymore? I don't know.
No, I think they got shut down because of the chocolate waterfall.
What's the deal with the Old Country Buffet?
All you can eat, unless you eat too much, and then they ask you to leave.
Yeah. I don't think buffets actually do make you. I mean, I think their platform is you can't eat too much. I don't think it's possible.
Well, there was a place that had all you can eat crab legs, and they cut off people.
That's gross. Why would you eat all those crab legs?
It was famous. The New England Patriots went there, and then they were told to leave.
You know, I don't think I've ever successfully eaten a crab leg. A lot of crab ragoons, never a crab leg.
Yeah.
Crab legs are, I don't even know. It's too much work. Lobster all day. If it was on all you can eat lobster place.
So wait, my podcast dropping next Monday on disaster dating, the two deans. The disaster date had something to do with diarrhea, but like you and Chad both have diarrhea. That seems to be the theme of the week. The week that
I know. Yeah.
the week that runs.
We're in the brown period of our lives. Yeah. The week that runs. Oh yeah.
You know what? I can already hear Chad disapproving of us, and he's not even here. He'd be like,
What? See, I was trying to do a Trump. I did a Seinfeld. It's all sorts.
That's all. We're lost without you, man. We're lost without you, buddy.
Yeah. Chad, we miss you. I hope you're.
Hope you're watching at home.
Yeah. If you're watching at home, which he's not, because I can see that no one is watching at home, because because I can see there's no viewers currently. So Chad's like,
look, for all the no viewers, when it comes out in podcast form, you can not listen there too.
You can always not listen whenever you want. Just leave it or not listen.
It's a free society. You can choose to not listen at any time.
And how is Two Deans going, by the way?
Two Deans is going good. We're getting a lot of listeners, and now when I walk into work, people are quoting the show.
No shit.
I'm absolutely serious.
What? No one's
absolutely serious. And like someone even said you can use a clipboard for everything in life.
That's a deep cut from.
We know we made it when people start using, like, when conversations go off the air, when they start saying that we're doing Panda Express, because that's sort of becoming our catchphrase. Like when
I thought your catchphrase was "Good night, good night."
It's good night, team. But Panda Express was when my co-host was talking about something. I totally misunderstood what we were saying and started going off about having a date in Panda Express and throwing the food around. And I was like, what are you talking about? So now anytime one of us goes off the rails, we tell each other they're going Panda Express.
Oh, okay. That's deep.
That is deep. And don't listen to the show, because if you don't think that's funny, don't listen to the show then.
I wouldn't encourage your listeners to not listen to your show.
No.
I would encourage them to listen to your show. It's actually pretty. I
went on a date this week. It was a big week, and she listened to all 3 hours, all 6 episodes of the Two Deans.
Wait, you went on a date, and you're going to talk about it on Two Deans?
No, she said not to, so I'm going to talk about it here.
Oh, yeah. Like, no
well, it wasn't a disaster.
It's been on for 10 seasons, but no one listens to us.
It wasn't a disaster, so that's
we have a lot of downloads actually. The thing is, I just don't have time in my busy life to put out this podcast, but I'm putting out yours. Oddball Foundation is back in Two Deans, but Oddball Show. It's just I don't know.
The Two Deans.
Providing the copy is so important.
The Two Deans is the most successful podcast in the Oddball label.
That is not. That's that. Oh yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that for now.
I mean, soon maybe Oddball Magazine's going to change its name to Two Deans Magazine.
Yeah, yeah, right. The Two Deans Magazine.
Fiction. Dale Wise.
No, I mean, Oddball Magazine is solid though. We're kicking ass every day. But
yeah, posting content every single day.
Yeah, I know. We really do with no avail. No avail.
So with that content, should we start talking about the content this week?
Yeah, why don't we? Let's bring up the.
That was a beautiful transition, Jason.
I feel like that was like a kickflip of a transition. Yes, it was.
It was, and we didn't even practice it.
No. You're
so now there's only 2 of us. So I guess one of us reads, and then the other one does the bio.
Yeah, and then we'll like flip it around. So we'll start with. Let me just go and we'll show the website real quick to everyone involved. Hold on. And it's going to be great. My hold on. All right. So as you can see the website now, right?
Yes.
All
Is
right.
this
So we're
great
gonna
on the
go.
browser? Is this a browser
Yeah.
that you
This
like?
is a great browser. This is Google Chrome. It's a solid browser. Not
Chrome is
that
not
Safari
Safari.
bullshit.
Look at that. I endorse Chrome, especially after
I
last
endorse
week.
Chrome big time. I endorse it big time. Chrome for president.
The
All right.
week that was.
So did we lead? We did not lead with the poem by Robert Fleming last
We
week.
did. We ended with that, so we're on
Yeah.
Jennifer Matthews.
So we're on a poem by Jennifer Matthews. Jennifer Matthews, celebrated writer, artist, musician. Um, and the photography is by Jennifer Matthews. So
And it's
I will read it.
Oh, I wanted to
And
read this one. Jennifer Matthews is Mia Moore.
all right, you read it then.
I love Jennifer Matthews. She's been a pal of mine for a long time. And
Okay.
the photograph is music, and the poem is in the mind of a dreaming crow. Your razzle dazzle. Sorry, I just thought of something. I just thought of something. You might have to read it. Hold on.
Yeah, you fucked
Your
up.
razzle dazzle fingers, tome forth and shine bright. They are jazzed with the juice, like the muse born of Zeus. Numbers and bones move tempos like thrones, one key to the next, a queen of quintets. And the sharp nines move like hips on a train full of fiery lips. The white keys, the black keys, the keys, the keys, the keys, the keys. They release and contract. They give out and give back. They move high and move low. They are motion at midnight in the mind of a dreaming crow.
Boom.
Did you get like that? That is a wonderful musical poem, but it's very sexual
It
too.
was very musical and sexual, yes. But I was thinking that it sounded like music. I wonder if this is a song of hers that she's written,
I
or
loved it. I mean, I'm a sucker for repetition in poems, and the keys, the keys, the keys, the keys.
uh,
Yes.
I could see her singing that as like the chorus or the bridge. Or
Yeah.
all right, poet photographer Jennifer Matthews' poetry has been published in Nepal by Pen Himalaya and locally by the Wilderness Retreat Writers Organization. Midway Journal, the Somerville Times, Ibison Street Press, and Boston Girl Guide. Jennifer was nominated for a poetry award by the Cambridge Art. Did we? You lost me?
Mike, you're
Hold on.
back.
No, I've been here the whole time. Unless you lost me, did you lose me?
Unless you for a split second, then you came back.
Yeah. Your audio was picking up my mic.
I feel.
Book
I feel.
photographer Jennifer Matthews' poetry has been published in Nepal by Pen Himalaya and locally by the Wilderness Retreat Writers Organization, Midway Journal, Somerville Times, Ibison Street Press, and Boston Girl Guide. Jennifer was nominated for a Poetry Award by the Cambridge Arts Council for her book of poetry, fairy tales, and misdemeanors. Her songs have been released nationally and internationally, and her photography has been used as covers for a number of Ibison Street Press poetry books and has been exhibited at the Middle East Restaurant, 1369 Coffee Houses, Sound Bites Restaurant in Somerville, and McLean Hospital.
Thanks, Jennifer. Love you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Great poem by Jennifer Matthews to start off the day. Next, we got Ann Sco, She Who Laughs Last, Free Breakfast.
You can do this one.
All right, I will. It started with an email. So it's a comic strip, everybody, that I'm going to be reading, She Who Laughs Last.
And there's here. You read it, and I'll describe the pictures.
All right. Yeah, that's going to work well. Free breakfast. You already screwed up. It's the sun. It's the sun.
Oh, okay. There's the sun on the free breakfast.
Yeah, it started with an email.
There's a laptop, and the laptop says, "Please RSVP to breakfast."
The artist breakfast. Yeah. I did. Why not?
And the person, it looks like Janet's like pointing, and like she's flabbergasted.
Yet it was mysterious. Why? What?
And the face is like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, no, this is good. This is perfect. It's described to a T. It came from our local PBS station. Yo, come on in. Get. How could it be dangerous?
And that looks like Grover and Bert. And Bert, hey
Yeah.
Ernie, Dan, hey Ernie.
Would they trick us into a pep rally, try to kidnap us, pump us for donations, make us bake competitively, sell us timeshares, give boring speeches while we were held captive?
And there's no image on that one.
No, there's no image. Only time would tell. First, I had to deal with the parking garage and finding the entrance.
No image on that one either.
I don't know. Is this a spot? Am I late? Try to remember where you parked. Am I too early? Where even is the building? Where do those stairs lead? Do I pay here? What's my license plate number? To be fair, the garage has been partly demolished, so there are stairs and a bridge to nowhere.
And there is a picture of her brain. Nice pink matter of her
Nice
brain.
big matter. Get to
So
the matter at hand. Eventually, I made it inside.
if you
Victory.
guys, if everyone really, oh, there's another page.
Yeah,
Eventually,
yeah, another page. On Victory Parkway. Celebrate victories. Yay.
and she's like, yay, she's jumping up and down.
Turns out many an artist has trouble with this kind of stuff. Hi, okay, no, over here, scan this, or okay, that works, so there, him, you're all set. Staff were helpful.
So basically, the image is someone having attention deficit disorder or processing function problem.
Well, that's your 2 cents on that one. Once inside, I saw a familiar face.
That's my interpretation of that image.
Think TV's friendly art show host, Rodney Veal.
And there he is. He looks like a African American Sigmund Freud.
Okay. He could, yeah, that could be him. Plus coffee,
Picture
bagel,
of coffee,
bacon,
bacon.
casserole, Danish.
Then there's a picture of coffee, bagel, bacon, casserole, Danish.
I sat with 2 people from Photo Focus who were unfamiliar with but intrigued by Rodney Veal.
And they look like really cool people. One guy has like a spiked hair and glasses. They're hipsters.
Yeah, yeah. There was no sales pitch, no crimes, no hoaxes, not even a boring speech. The only speech was Rodney talking a bit about his show and his awesome art and artists are.
There's a picture of Rodney's gesturing and talking about himself.
There was an optional fun behind the scenes tour of the studio. Green screen, Ricardo in a cape.
That's super cool because if you ever worked with the green screen, the problem with this picture, I think she did it intentionally. Ricardo's drawn with a green cape and a green shirt, which won't show up at all.
2 shades of green. All right, and then we have finally Dova's Day clock and a couple of Muppets in the control room.
And it's like it's Big Bird, and there's Elmo. It's a picture of Elmo.
I would say that's close to Elmo, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a fine described comic strip by Tim Gager.
And all I have to say is you should listen back to this as you read the strip on the website. It'll be very amusing.
You'll get it. You'll be like, wow, he's spot on. Ann Scove lives in her hometown of Cincinnati. Her comics first appeared in the local street papers, Street Vibes, and Article 25. She's a frequent contributor to Funny Times and Belt Magazine, both based in northern Ohio. She considers having her comics up on your refrigerator door to be the highest form of praise. Reading them while you're on your can is an acceptable close second. All right. All right, here we go. We got
What's next, Jason?
poem by Mike Messerson Gibbons.
All right.
So what Mike likes to do is he likes to do anachronistic poems.
Yes.
Is that right? And this one is called Tesla.
And on the left column, the lines spell Tesla. And there's a nice picture of Muskrat Love.
Muskrat love. And
Tesla.
Trump.
There can't be a beautiful deal on EVs having no steering wheel since tariffs make Tesla lose value, which says au revoir between Donald and Elon.
Wow. Mike Messerson Gibbons is a professor emeritus of mathematics at Florida State University who has returned to live in his native England. His acrostic sonnets have appeared in Autumn Sky Poetry Daily, Better Than Starbucks, The Creativity Webzine, Current Conservation, The Extractive Review, Brand Little Thing, Lighten Up Online, Mono, The New Verse News, Oddball Magazine, Rat's Ass Review, The Satirist, The Washington Post, and Westward Quarterly. The poem was prompted by the Futurism article.
All right, way to go, Mike.
Trump's tariffs are wrecking Elon Musk's Hail Mary to save Tesla. All right.
All right. I always feel like when we read some of the bios, I always feel like breaking into applause.
I feel like we should have an applause thing. If I had a little bit better of a setup, I'd do that.
And maybe like some finger clicks for some of the poems.
Finger clicks. I don't know. I'm out on finger clicks. Do you like finger clicks?
You know what? Just had this conversation. Someone said, why do people ask to not have applause between poems? And
Hmm.
the answer is, first of all, if you're reading like 20 poems that are reading, by the end of the 20 poems, people are just sort of clapping by habit, and they're not because
Mhm.
they're afraid not to clap, and it could also disrupt the flow. So I think like finger snaps are kind of cool in the middle of a poem because it doesn't seem to disrupt anything.
Mm, I'm out on them. I'm out on them. I like clapping. I like the applause. I like applause. Um, some people snap on Zoom, I believe. Some people snap on Zoom, which is whatever. It is what it is, but it's one of those things. I think that's also something for the poetry world, the slam poetry world, or the poetry world in general, with the
Well,
snaps, and I don't love it.
it started as with the beat poets, that whole finger snap thing. It's a 50s thing.
I know. I'm not saying I don't love the snap thing. I just don't love the snap thing.
Well, what else can you do? Like, if you're not, can you whistle? Like, yeah, I remember watching
I
hockey
mean,
games
you
in
can
Canada.
applause. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't love applause?
I remember watching a hockey game in Canada years ago, back when they would whistle instead of boo. Now they just boo.
Yeah. I mean, you
I
don't want to
thought,
hear boos. That's one thing you don't want to hear is
I
boos.
thought it was kind of cool to have the whistles.
It's cold either way in Canada.
So we have to Alex Soriano.
No, we're with Oddball Stories with Chris Malloy.
Oh, why don't I have that one? I both.
Well, I have it, so I'll start with it. Um, Oddball Stories, my first novel. So this is quite longish, as Oddball Stories are quite longish. So I'll read a couple of the paragraphs, and then
Yeah.
I'll let the reader or the listener go and check out the poem itself. The story is by Chris Malloy. My first attempt at writing a novel didn't go very well. I gave up after the first page. In my defense, I was 6. I knew some stuff back then. I knew that novels were written by grown-ups. I knew that grown-up handwriting was in cursive with all the stupid letters connected mostly between them. That's why I reasoned if grown-ups write in cursive and novels are written by grown-ups, and after I learn how to write cursive, I'll be ready to write my first novel. My second grade teacher at Buchanan Elementary School was Mrs. Blotstein. In the opening week of the school year, she taught us how to write every letter of the alphabet in cursive. Finally, on one glorious, unforgettable day, she showed us how to connect the letters. Mrs. Blotstein concluded that lecture by noting, "I'm due for a smoke. It's recess. Go outside." After recess, every student was given a lima bean, and I'm going to stop there.
All right, and I can't read the bio because I can't find the piece, but I was listening along the way the people that are listening to the cast right now are listening.
Yeah. And I'll just tell you that performing globally in his previous career as a composer and pianist, Chris Malloy somehow avoided triggering any major international conflicts. Although my first novel is a true story, Malloy now mostly writes fiction populated by his imaginary friends who exhibit abundant flaws that are based on his own. He plans to make a fortune by suing for defamation. That's a great bio. Great bio.
We should applaud that
Yeah,
bio.
clap bio.
So, what would you like to do now? Are we doing Siriano or are we doing Jagged Thoughts?
We're on poem by George Freak.
Why don't I have this?
Well, when you, yeah, you're a week behind, I think.
No, Alex Siriano was May 5th.
Yeah, we're on April 29th.
So I'm on poem by Darcy Evans? That's
Nope,
March
poem by
6th.
George Freak. I'll read it.
Oh, hold
So you get caught up. Poem by George Freak.
on. I can do it.
All right. And also some excellent described artwork by Bonnie Matthews Brock, which would be, I would describe that
See,
as
my page has Jagged Thoughts, April 22nd, poem by Devin Rogan.
nope.
And then I jump to page 2, and I have.
It's a poem by George Freak.
All
The
right,
art by.
let me see. Tell me show me how to find it. Where is it?
All right. So what I do is I go to next at the top of the the top of the page after I'm done reading, and it goes right to the next poem.
Oh, okay. That's what's going on. So
Yeah.
Oddball story.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're on the same page.
Ah,
Hey, George Freak. It's extra freaky.
all right, I've been waiting for that. An April
Okay.
sunset. Go ahead, Tim.
Super Freak. On an April sunset, as the new spring finally arrives, a blue jay hunts for bugs in a nearby tree. Although it's still cold, he'd like to eat if he wants to live. I'd walk in the woods, but the trail still has snow, and a sun thin as paper mache drops like the end of a play. In years gone by, my friends were the actors who said what they could. Then suddenly there was nothing left to say. Who can tell me why each life must end this way?
Woo,
It's dark.
dark. My friends were the actors who said what they could, then suddenly there was nothing left to say.
All right, so George Freak's poem, Enigmatic Variations, was recently nominated for the Best of the Net. His poem, Night Thoughts, was also nominated for a Pushcart Prize.
Hooray.
And Bonnie Michaels Brock,
Bonnie Matthews Brock.
who did the photograph. She is a Florida-based photographer as well as a school psychologist. So, Jason, what do you see in this photograph?
Well, I see Pennywise. Honestly, when I look at it, I see a bunny with ears, or maybe a frog with eyes.
You pass.
2 eyes, or maybe a butterfly. I see a lot in that. It's really, or maybe like a lion. There's a lot.
Uses this with her school psychology. Like she just shows these pictures from
Yeah.
Oddball and then asks the kids what they see. Anyway, she loves hiking the urban and woodland trails of anywhere and pausing often to shoot photos with her patient husband and often collaborator, Ted. Her images have been featured on the covers of magazines such as Ibbotson Street, yay! Wild Roof Journal, Post Magazine, yay! Humana Obscura and Arkansas Review, as well as on the pages and publications such as Oddball Magazine, yay! Ember Chasm Review, Beyond Words Literary Magazine, Beaver Magazine, that's the PG rated one. No.
Yeah, I knew.
And Lateral. Her works are archived at institutions such as Poets House, New York City, Brown University, and Harvard. So yeah, she's very acclaimed.
Very acclaimed. Very.
Awesome.
All right. Up. Jagged Thought 566. Cold day. I don't know. Tim, what do you think? Do you think I should change this picture and maybe update Jagged Thoughts?
You can update it. Yeah, I think you should update it, and you should number the picture. Like if this is like the third generation picture, you should be like.
I don't think I don't even have that hat anymore. That's very, very old.
Yeah.
I wish I had that hat. I love that hat.
I think you should update the picture.
I think I should update the picture too. I think it gives kind of the wrong message of my poetry. No, I mean I think it shows sort of. I don't know. I just don't think that represents me anymore. That guy doesn't represent me anymore.
All right, do your Jagged Thought.
Jagged Thought 566. Cold day. Like no smile whatsoever. Another cold day. Wish my mind would go away. Wish I was asleep and could stay that way. Broken-minded, can't find a place to play. Don't know what to do today. Have to change. Can't stay the same. A lame brain maintains medications to kill the pain. Some good news today. Maybe for some, but not on this train. My thoughts are cloudy with a chance of rain. Wish you could erase my brain, missing things that mean something to me. A trial by fire, judge, jury, and a pen to write my pain. Jason Wright, me, is the editor and founder of Oddball Magazine. My column appears weekly. My third book, Train of Thought 2, Almost Home, is available now at the Oddball bookstore. And
Nice.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering about like pronoun stuff, I can do. Jason Wright, you are the editor and founder of Oddball Magazine. Your column appears weekly. Your third book, Train of Thoughts 2, Almost Home, is available now at your bookstore.
Well, that's because you're talking to me. That makes sense.
Yeah, I still want to confuse people.
Yeah. So that's Jason Wright. That's me, in case you're wondering. kind of a writer for the magazine.
All right.
Poem by Devin Rogan with photography by Glenn Bowie.
Glenn Bowie, a frequent contributor.
Frequent contributor. You want to describe the art and I'll read the poem?
That sounds great.
All right.
The art, it looks like it's not a suburban house. I would say the edge of a city home, one family home. It's not a very nice home. And it's like almost like the alley, and there is light in the window, and there is the silhouette, but it's a more than a silhouette because you can see a little detail of a very thin tree that cross cuts the window.
Yeah, but it's really like also it looks like it's very lit up, like it was either taken during nighttime or there's an effect on the camera,
Or the kitchen's on fire.
or the kitchen's on fire. But I don't necessarily know it's not a nice house. I just don't think we have enough.
I mean, Glenn Bowie did not waste time. He took this great shot while the cats and dogs were burning.
Yeah, I should have called 911 to let the dogs out. But yeah, great picture. Well, lots to talk about. We could still talk about this if we wanted to. That's a great hallmark of a great picture.
It's wonderful.
Poem by Devin Rogan. You want to read this one?
I will read it.
And then maybe think, why did Chad pair this? Because that's what you want.
That's a good game.
Yeah. Why did Chad pair this?
It's called the Ecstasy of Coffee and French Toast 2024. He paired it because the French toast started the fire, obviously.
Obviously.
It was like a toaster. It was a toaster French toast, and there was a short circuit. Anyway, the Ecstasy of Coffee and French Toast 2024. I can feel content, for about 90 minutes a day. If for breakfast I have coffee and French toast, and nothing else can replicate that. A non-exhaustive list of things that come close include being 60% through of a good book, a first date that went well, laughing at a meme, sunsets, watching 2 movies in a row. But none of them get me as far as the coffee and French toast. There are no churches or theological explanations related to this, and I've Googled it. So I'm the first to discover it, and I am very brave to be the first to say it.
Ah, hooray. See, maybe me saying hooray doesn't give it the justice. Maybe that's where the snaps or the
But if he's watching 2 movies in a row, the movies must be less than 45 minutes per average because the contentness from the French toast is 90 minutes a day. Just doing math.
Math-wise, you're accurate, but there are 45-minute movies that are watching. I'm actually watching it now. He's saying if you watch 2 movies in a row, like say you watch Speed 1 and then Speed 2, you're gonna
or you have a row of laptops and you're watching the movies simultaneously.
Is there a Speed 2? Is there a Speed?
It's like a Speed 4 or 5.
No, I don't know if it went that far, but Speed 2 was on a boat, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I never quite understood why you couldn't go less. Like if I was in a car and I had to go more than 80 miles an hour, eventually you'd crash within an hour.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any like Keanu Reeves with a gun and like side fights. That just
and Dennis Hopper. But by the way, that movie was awesome. That movie was great.
Speed 3, Keanu Reeves serves French toast and coffee on an airplane that has to go more than 1,000 miles an hour.
1,000 miles an hour, or
the French toast.
And he has to continually give people coffee and French toast.
Yeah,
or the plane blows up.
All right, so the photograph is Glenn Bowie, and he's a published poet, lyricist, musician, and photographer from the Boston area. He also owns and operates an elevator company that supplies custom-built elevators for clients from New England to Hollywood. So contact Glenn Bowie if you need an elevator. His number is 1-800-GLEN-BOWIE. The author of poetry and photography collections, Under the Weight of Whispers and Into the Thorns and Honey, from Big Table Publishing. Yay! He donates all profits from his books to various charities, from the homeless, who they buy French toast and coffee for, and animal shelters.
And Devin Rogan is the author of a novel, Habit. He is from North Carolina. His poems have been published in various places online. In his spare time, he researches the intersection of philosophy and psychology.
Cool.
All right, cool. I like this what was Chad thinking game. It's a great game. Oh, what was Chad thinking? Here we go. This is a Mark Blickley, another artist who I like a lot, in the vein of Ira Joel Haber and John Ergstrom. All right.
And the poem is Alison Bailey. I love the art by Mark.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You're gonna have to explain the art, and I will read the poem.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
You get, read the poem and then we'll
All
figure.
right, all right, all right. Here we go. Poem by Alison Bailey. Painted in betrayal. Fingers tear at clothes. Dying breath as hands paint skin. How you were my friend.
It's a haiku, ladies and gentlemen. Now, like I think the dream at the end is the name of the art piece. I think that Chad paired it because it's very dystopian,
Mm-hmm.
and like the poem is very dystopian too. But I think the art is overstates the sentiment of the poem. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to give Chad like a 6 out of 10 on this one.
You think it's too obvious? He should have. I mean, this art is the chaos of the poem, though.
Yeah, I mean it's a basic betrayal, but in the art there's someone with a rifle. Like, that's generally not the response for betrayal.
Yeah, but that's pretty. Like if someone was to describe that poem, and they were to pair the last three pictures, Bonnie Matthews Brock, Glenn Bowie, and this Mark Blickley, which one would you pair it with? I'd pair it with Mark.
Yeah, I mean this is paired. It's
It's
paired.
paired well, paired real well.
All right.
Um,
So Mark Blickley grew up within walking distance of New York's Bronx Zoo. He's a proud member of the Dramatists Guild and Pan American Center. His latest book of flash fictions collection, Hunger Page for Buttonhook Press, Blick believes that when you travel in a circle, you can view life at every possible angle.
Allison Bailey lives and writes in a rural Ohio area.
Can you
The
do an
English,
Ohio accent? Because I just did a Bronx accent.
oh, I know you did a Bronx accent strikingly well too. Best Bronx accent. Uh, I, I mean, I don't think an Ohio accent is much of an accent, is it?
It's kind of Washington lives in rural Ohio. Yeah, it's kind of like a little slow twist.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know.
Like like no, like Pennsylvania Appalachia.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like once you go up to like, don't you know, like that's Minnesota, you know. But
Yeah,
I feel like Ohio has a pretty normal, normal dialect. No,
it sounds like you're doing it right now. In fact,
don't you know? Allison Bailey lives and writes in a rural Ohio area, an English education major. She has a passion for fantasy storytelling and poetry. Her experience includes working as an editor for an online journal, the Arcadian Press, and writing blog posts for the Southeast Homeschool Convention.
you're right.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an autistic Ohioan
It
person.
was.
Yeah.
So we're up to James Van Loy, and usually Chad reads James Van Loy. This
Are we
is
already at James? We're already at James Van Loy for the love of Pete.
I hit next. We're on
No,
May.
we're there. We're there. Yeah, we are. It's all one thing. 585. Samson and Gaza IV. All right, go ahead.
You want me to read Samson and Gaza?
Yeah, right as well.
I have to read it like Chad, though.
Oh,
It
yeah.
won't. No, I can't do Chad. I gotta get into character.
You can't do it, Dad. No one can
All
do
right,
it.
I'll do it myself. It won't go away now all by itself. It chases us through the city streets. It personifies itself as that troll elf. Its pointy ears poke up from beneath. The bridge of core common daily life, watching us wherever we can ever go, recording any sign of resistance, strife, seeing us in our homes as their only foe. The big boomerang backstab blowback as we get hit in the back of our sore head by what we did on their overseas track in our most intimate people place instead. We can only duck it as we try to recover from the previous assault over and over. They drop the big one as they slowly hover right over our head. That is so very over. The imposition from way high up above, this rain on our downtrod personal parade, this big fat dirty deal shitting like an old dove who imposes this scapegoat madman tirade.
So you just kind of read it like a good poet would read a poem.
Thank you.
I guess that's just how Chad reads as a good poet. James Van Loy has been a fixture in Boston Poetry's venue since the 1970s. He's a member of Cosmic Thornker Theater and has run poetry workshops for Boston area homeless people at Pine Street Inn and St. Francis House since 1992. Van Loy leads the Labyrinth Creative Movement Workshop, which has Labyrinth title poems are based on. His work appears weekly in Oddball magazine. All right.
So James Van Loy has 585.
Yeah.
Oh, how many jagged thoughts? You have 566.
There was a brief time last year where I was derailed.
Well, I think though that you should suspend James Van Loy for 19 weeks so that way you can catch up.
That's so petty. Why would I do that?
Because it's your foundation.
Okay. It'll just be petty. We're a petty foundation.
I mean, we're in a petty world right now.
Yeah. But I'm actually really proud of James Van Loy.
I love James Van Loy. He's an amazing voice.
Guy. Yeah. Janet Cormier, Bamboozled No More.
All right.
Random rainy late Sunday afternoons. Sun is shining somewhere else. Today we settle for wild breezes, blowing bare tree branches that hold up sunless skies. We hope we can get home before clouds burst out, overfilled puddles that clutter sidewalk with branches, twigs, leaves, miscellaneous whatever, glass bottle caps, losing change, and other assorted objects. And I'll just stop right there. If you want to read the rest of the poem, you gotta go check it out. Bamboozled No More. Random rainy late Sunday afternoons.
Nice. It's the rest of the poem is 3 words. I love that. So the 7th week in a row, I'm going to read Janet Cormier's bio. For the 7th week in a row, Janet Cormier is a painter, writes prose and poetry, and performs comedy. Janet prefers different and original over pretty. She loves collecting stuff, but collecting not so much. Janet also talks to strangers a lot. Her column appears weekly on Oddball magazine, and I think you should record me reading that bio and just play it.
If I had like a sound looper and stuff and then the technology to do that, I would. Believe me.
So we're up to the many.
We're with Wise Words with Bruce Wise, my friend. We're there.
Many. I mean, he must write. Are these all new? Like
they're all new. Every week he comes up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 poems for this one.
So that's like 2.28 per day.
That's one hell of a digest to end the week with, you know.
Yeah, so I guess we can only pick one. How about we pick one each, and then you can pick a third one for Chad.
Okay.
And then we'll make it into a Hallmark movie. You know, our sick friend, Poem for Chad. You know,
yeah.
A Hallmark presents A Poem for Chad.
A Poem for Chad.
It's a tearjerker, like, you know, we're gonna dedicate this Bruce Wise poem to our sick friend Chad. He would have written and read this haiku. All right, I will read. How about I read a longer one? The Little World We Live On by I.E. Space World. Space jars us from this little world we live on, the planet Earth that's orbiting the blazing sun. It's orbiting the center of this milky pond. About 240 million years, just once at 230 kilometers per second or so. Perhaps the Milky Way itself is moving in the same direction as the Great Attractor. Oh, the massive myriad of galaxies spinning. And where is this all going to? One wonders, yes, what is the journey that this universe plots out? Is there a purpose to it all? Who knows? Perhaps. Space charges us from this planet Earth, no doubt. No doubt. And Mr. I.E. Space World is a poet of space.
Have you heard the song Perhaps, Perhaps?
Perhaps.
Like
I think that when I was reading that, you should have been like Will Ferrell, like singing the.
I thought about it.
Humming the Star Trek theme.
Yeah. All right. This one is This is When One Despairs by Adil Swerbus. When one despairs as Livy did at living in these climes, one should remember that each era changed with the times. The rule of many, rule of few, and rule of only one, although they be benign, or weak and fade as time goes on, from monarchy and aristocracy to democracy to tyranny and oligarchy and autocracy, one should recall the ancient writers like Polybius, reminding us of human schemes and anaclysis. Malignancy appears but also undergoes demise. Corruption disappears when souls prefer the good and wise. Adil Swerbus is a poet of ancient Greece and Rome. Titus Livius, 59 BC to 17 AD, was a noted Golden Age Roman historian. Polybius, 200 BC to c. 118 BC, was a noted Hellenistic Greek historian. Anaclysis is an ancient Greek theory that says there are 6 types of governments cycling through political evolutions. And I believe, unless I'm wrong, that was the week that was. Yep, that was the week that was.
The week that was.
The week that was.
The week that was.
So you got a big week. You got a big week ahead of you, man. You excited?
The week it's going to be. Well, we'll review it next Thursday. So
yeah, I'll be there. Nice. I'm going to you.
It'll be good to see you. And I think we're going to get there's a lot of RSVPs. And so come early and eat their food, because the owner of the room that he's giving me never fails to remind me that the room normally costs $6,000. So he's giving it to me for free. So wow. That means, I told him, I said, don't worry, man, we'll eat $6,000 worth of burgers. We'll see about that.
That's a lot of burgers. Oh, we got 4 listeners. We got 4 viewers right now. How about that?
Who are they?
I don't know. I don't know where they're coming from. But they're watching.
In the room?
Fantastic.
I think at the end of every week that was, we just let the listeners into the room with us.
Right. That'd be amazing.
Put the link up.
All right. Yeah, I just noticed that. I guess we've had listeners. I don't know. I have no
4.
idea. Thank you. So my name is Jason Wright. That is Tim Gager. Tim Gager has a big book reading this week. Wish him luck for Shadows of the Scene. Check out Two Dean's podcast. Check out Chad Prento's. Check out a couple things he does, and one is definitely his TikTok, and also his TikTok is Chad Poet for Hire. You can find me at Oddball Magazine, TikTok, and all that stuff. Oddball Foundation on TikTok. And this has been the week that was. Tim, I hope you have a great book signing. I can't wait to see it. Are you signing the books?
I'll sign them. I'm launching them. I've got some special guests too. I have Michael and Sarah, he's going to read like 3 or 4 minutes from his memoir about being an early protester in the 60s.
Awesome.
Steve Bellinger, who's a poet and memoirist, who's coming from Fitchburg to join me. And there is former state Senate Denise Provost, who's also a poet. She's taking the commuter train for this. So if my guests that are just coming to support me for 3 fucking minutes are coming in that direction, there's no excuse for you guys not to come.
Yeah, unless there's car trouble. If there's car trouble, there's an excuse. Remember that, everybody. If there's car trouble, there's an excuse.
And if your grandmother died, there's another one. But she can only die once.
She can only die once. So it better be worth it.
You can parlay the car trouble, because once your car starts going bad, like it can be a weekly event.
Yeah. All right, Tim. Good luck. I will. And Dyer. What's going on with Dyer?
I just had a Dyer tonight. In 2 weeks, I've got Kurt Baumeister, and so that's...
Also check out Stone Soup and what Chad's doing over at Stone Soup. He's doing some excellent work.
It's all open. It's all on. Both of those events are on Zoom, mine and Stone Soup, and there's an open mic. So if the 4 of you want to join us,
yeah. Cool. And my name is Jason Wright. I'm the editor of Oddball Magazine, founder of Oddball Foundation. Yada yada. This is Tim Gager, writer extraordinaire.
Thanks for joining us.
Man of many talents. This has been the Oddball Show. We'll see you later.
The Oddball Show and the Oddball Foundation is dedicated to mental health advocacy through art.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oddball Show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.